Good afternoon, YouTube, and welcome to the Pipe Report. You got some new information here on Seth Rich. Not really new investigation, but it's actually now a push toward a Seth Rich investigation. Congressman Blake Farenthold told CNN that they should investigate the computers of Seth Rich. And he also questions the DC police. In the video, CNN basically tried to destroy his narrative and destroy his push for investigation. They try to play it off as conspiracy. You can tell that they do not want their Russia narrative to go away. And an investigation, a congressional investigation into Seth Rich will completely destroy the Russian narrative, even if it turns out that Seth Rich wasn't responsible for the leaks. Because that's going to give public opinion. That's going to put doubt in public opinion. And the whole Russian narrative will slightly go away. So they do not want that. But I'm glad we actually have a congressman standing up and says we need to investigate Seth Rich. And just listen to the hostility from the CNN reporters here. When he says that, they like get angry at him almost in their questions towards him. Here's the video.
Questioning, he was unable to point to any specific evidence. And I think that's what we're going to continue to see there. And my fear is our constant focusing on the Russians is deflecting away for some other things that we need to be investigating in. There's still some question as to whether the intrusion at the DNC server was an insider job or whether or not it was the Russians.
What evidence? I'm sorry. The insider job, what are you referring to here? Because I hope it's not this information that Fox News just refused to be reporting.
Well, again, there's stuff circulating on the internet. My question is, why haven't the federal officials
on the internet? What's circulating on the internet that you think is worthy of a congressional investigation? Because the D.C. police are investigating this, and so far they haven't said there's any there.
Yeah, can we really trust the D.C. police, though? Honestly, I don't think we can at all. I really don't think we can at all. And there was also more information that one of the ER docs, who was a resident while Seth Rich was brought in, he said Seth Rich wasn't dead yet. Now, whether that's actually true or not is open for speculation, but if it was the truth that Seth Rich wasn't dead and he was taken up to ICU and no doctor was allowed to get in the room and then he subsequently died, that points to a cover-up. That points to somebody knowing or an organization knowing that Seth Rich was the leaker and they wanted him to die. They may not have killed him in the ER, but they wanted him to die. They didn't want him to get any kind of medical treatment. Now that would be even worse than the worst kind of Russia conspiracy the mainstream media can think of.
Yet the D.C. police nor no federal investigator has ever had a look at the DNC computer. We're relying only on the report of somebody that the DNC contracted to examine their computer rather than having federal officials. To me, we need to let feds look at it.
Let me go back. My audio got messed up there at the end. Don't do an ad.
When a company that helps Americans plan for the future works with a team from Goldman Sachs, a unique collaboration begins, an innovative product is created, and Western and Southern makes progress.
So far, they haven't said there's any there.
Yet the D.C. police nor no federal investigator has ever had a look at the DNC computer. We're relying only on the report of somebody that the DNC contracted to examine their computer rather than having federal officials. To me, we need to let feds look at it.
I completely agree. That congressman is actually pretty brave here. Here's the article a little bit. For the most part, it was in the video, but we'll go over a little bit here. There is stuff circling on the internet, he explained. That should be part of the ongoing investigation into alleged Russian interference in the election, because that's an alternative theory that deserves being looked at. Farenthold said later in a phone call with Corpus Christi Caller-Times. The death should be investigated in the same manner Russian interference has been reviewed, he said. Yes. Very good, Congressman. Thank you for standing up. We're relying only on the report of somebody that the DNC contracted to examine their computer rather than having federal officials, Farenthold said, referring to the fact that the DNC never turned their servers over to the FBI. To me, we need to let the feds look at that. So, what should have happened after Seth Rich died? if he was a member of the DNC and the DNC really cared about all types of people, the DNC should have offered a reward, especially if it was indeed a robbery gone bad. You would think that the DNC would offer a reward for information on one of their own. But no, they didn't even want to talk about it. They got as far away from it as they possibly could. They wanted it termed as a robbery right away and let it go. No, you would think that your employer that's worth millions and millions of dollars would put up a reward for information on what one of your employees and whether he died, how he died. But no, they want to ignore it. And I think that points to some type of cover-up. I'm not saying that Debbie Wasserman Schultz had him killed or Hillary Clinton had him killed, but if there's evidence that he was a leaker and then he died, maybe they just don't give a shit. Maybe they're like, you know what, I don't care about it anymore. He died, it's over. So maybe they don't want to know, because to them, he kind of betrayed them. We actually don't know. But what we do know is that the Seth Rich story has just as much circumstantial evidence as the Russia story, possibly even more, because we know WikiLeaks actually offered a reward, $20,000 for information on his death. So you would think, and Julian Assange has been pretty adamant that it wasn't Russia. So I'm glad. Hopefully this continues to pick up. And I do think, once again, this Congressman Blake Farenthold, you are a patriot, sir. Keep it up. And I'm done.